Morning guys, welcome to another vlog. Today is vlog 16. Okay, yesterday I was supposed to be doing my night, but somehow or rather I overcharged myself, so I knock out until this morning. So this morning I'm out. Okay, as per usual, as you can see on the background, I'm at my usual spot, right? Waiting for orders. I have not been online yet. So let's go online. Alright, like I mentioned yesterday in my previous vlog, I'm going to do today another topic is about spillage. Alright, that's a pretty common issue that sometimes riders or customers will face when they receive their food, or riders will face when they are sending the food, especially when it comes to containers which have loose lids. Right, it's actually not entirely the rider's fault. Sometimes it can be on the merchant or vendor's fault, because then again it's a vendor because the lids or the containers come from another supplier or vendor, so it's their job to actually ensure that the lids are actually the proper lids for that particular container. So if you guys don't know, actually all these plastic containers or plastic cups, right, they have various lids that's available for them. So if you take one size bigger, right, the lid is going to be very loose, right, especially when it comes to the Tupperware or those soup containers, right. The solid plastic soup containers, not the paper bowl containers, yeah, right. Those plastic soup containers are actually having different lids. So if the merchant or vendor actually take a size bigger, it's not gonna seal properly. It's still gonna click when you cover the bowl or you cover the container, but it's not going to actually secure the soup or whatever that is inside, right. This I found out when I was actually doing Honest Bee last time down at Newton. So I was actually waiting around that area for the morning peak. So not morning peak, evening peak. So I saw these suppliers coming in, and then they have all the various lids, all this kind of thing. Then they mentioned that okay, this one containers actually you need to have the correct lids, otherwise the container is not going to close properly. So the job is upon the supplier, upon the merchant, and actually upon the rider if he is the one who is riding. But the main one actually is from the supplier or the vendor itself. If they fail to actually check the lids and be sure that the lids are actually the right one for that container, everything is not going to fit in, right. So right now for this morning, just give me a few minutes. I just do some verifications, then I'll get back to you shortly. Okay guys, so verification done. It's time to go online, right. Like I mentioned just now, if the lids are not secured properly or not the right lids actually for the containers, the containers is not actually going to secure properly, and that is not going to secure whatever is inside. So the root of the cause is actually either the supplier or the vendor themselves, right. Only then comes the rider issue, because the rider is also need to actually make sure everything is securely packed or securely tied up to ensure minimize spillage, right. Now the thing is, sometimes we get the blame, right? But the fact is, the root cause is actually either the supplier or the merchant. On the other side, while waiting for orders, on the other side, actually, it all depends also on how the riders ride. But the thing is, even though the riders ride haphazardly, right? Take me for example, right? I don't actually care. Okay, not saying not actually care, but having some consideration about the traffic, pedestrians, blah blah blah. Right. Other than that, is like having fun on the road, but not so much of having fun so as to do Superman on the bike or what. That is crazy. But the thing is, having fun on the road, as in like you just enjoy the ride. Some riders will say that I mean, we ride free, ride kind of thing, because we are enjoying the ride, especially long journeys, show. Okay, but the thing is, sometimes it's a passion for some of us to actually corner, right, utilize the tire to the maximum, that kind of thing. That's why for newbies, sometimes the workshop will tell you, oh, you take a thicker tire, because you're a newbie. Then sometimes you may overturn, then go beyond the maximum of the tire, and happens that you're gonna fall, that kind of thing. It is because they are trying to be precautious, or they want to take precautions so that you as a rider, you won't fall, right? But as for my case, usually I will ride, my tire measurements are very simple: 80-90, 90-80, that's all. That's all. It's pretty thin, or what my father would say, arm thickness, right? That is how far my tires will go, right? And I will usually utilize the tire fully right to the brim. So basically, for my case, I love to corner here, corner there, ride at high speed. But of course, high speed have a limit. So no matter what I do, even though I have the passion for all those cornering and stuff, right? The items that I bring for my customers are usually at a minimal spillage. That means you only see a few droplets, or maybe like less than 0.5 cm above the plastic level, kind of thing. It's very thin and very minimal. So that's because sometimes the lids may have gaps in between, so that the liquid can actually seep through. There is only once in a while that I will encounter issues like there is a massive spillage. Now, talking about massive spillage, okay, never mind, I'll talk about that later. Okay, we got an order coming in. McDonald Bukit Batok, as usual, in the morning. Okay, so going to 213 Bukit Batok. Okay, so we'll go and fetch the order first, then we'll proceed back here to get another order, and we'll continue with the supply. Okay guys, so first order of the morning sent already. I wrote as per normal, right? Corner as per usual. Right, the thing is, you will see after this how I usually bring my e-bike. Even though it's an e-bike, I still do as what I did last time. It's just that the e-bike doesn't have exhaust pipe and petrol driven engine. So that's the thing. So basically, we are going to go back to West Mall again, go and wait for another order, and we'll see how it goes. Otherwise, we'll continue with the topic. Okay guys, so I'm back at West Mall. So as you can see just now through my short ride back to West Mall, I don't actually, do a slow corner. Usually I do a fast corner kind of thing. So if I can possibly my knee reach the ground, I will do that. But unfortunately, it's an e-bike, it's not a motorcycle. So forget about it. Anyways, spillage. Yeah, most important thing actually from the root of it, like I mentioned just now, is the vendor. Alright, so don't actually blame your rider. Right, check the drain first. See whether the cap is or the lid is actually loose. If the lid is loose, it means the vendor. Alright, if the cap is not loose, it's tight and massive overflow of water or liquid. Alright, then you can be the rider, because sometimes because most of the riders are actually, including myself, I even rush for orders. So nevertheless, even if we rush for orders also, we still think of the public safety. So yeah, it can be because of that, or is the handling of the food. Right, basically, I mean, if you have, I'm not sure if I have shown you guys what's in my box or what's in my bag. So usually I don't have much things inside. It's pretty empty. What there is inside is usually my spare battery, and of course the spare battery for the X3, and the screwdriver, because it's so irritating for me to change my spare battery for the X3, because I need to open up the bracket for the quick release and also the bracket for the external mic. So most of the times I just those things inside, and it's almost practically or literally empty inside. So if you're talking about food handling, I just put my stuff inside with nothing at the side or behind or whatsoever, and the food still arrives at the customer's location with minimal spillage or none at all. In fact, I try to do as much as possible to actually minimize spillage, but as like I mentioned, inside my box there's nothing much, so I can't actually minimize spillage. So the only thing that I have inside now, the default bags, that means the bags that are supplied by Grab or Foodpanda or Deliveroo. Now most of them actually have those hooks inside. Okay, things are getting easy. Okay, most of the bags actually are having hooks inside, so you might want to use the hooks. The hooks are really, really helpful for minimizing spillage. Now, on the other hand, there's the black bag, which most of the riders will buy because they want to be sort of like neutral, so that nobody can say that they are with Grab or they are with Deliveroo or they are with Foodpanda. They have the freedom. In fact, it doesn't matter much whether you have a Grab food bag or you have a Foodpanda bag or you have a Deliveroo bag. It doesn't matter, right? What matters most is the food that comes to the customer. That is what matters. So I previously had the black bag. If you have not realized, you might want to see my video on the installation of my delivery bag, the black bag. I will put the card here. Alright, so that was what I had previously until my cat. I guess you guys must have known that over time you will see cats in the background while I was doing the video. So over time that delivery bag actually became house to my cats. so I can't use it for delivery anymore because it's a hiding place for my cats. If I cannot find my cats, likely I can find them inside the food delivery bag. That's how they are. So yeah, usually for those kind of bags, they do have hooks, but their hooks are pretty simple. Right? It's not those kind of clip hooks whereby once you clip the plastic inside, right, the plastic is not able to like actually jump out. Right? There was once an incident when I actually used that hook to actually put one of the McDonald's orders, the drinks. It's a medium Coke, I can still remember. So when I put on the hook, and after a few bumps on the road, I reached the customer's place. It was half full. I was totally stunned. I was like, oh. So I just go up to the customer and say, hey, ma'am, I think you need to call Grab to ask for a refund because your drinks, I spilled your drink, so please call Grab to ask for a refund. Now, if you have a spillage, do not attempt to pour it back in. Right? Don't pour it back in. Just go up to the customer. Worst comes to worst, you get a bickering, then the customer will just call the customer service and then tell them to refund back the money which is for the food. Now, in the recent case whereby I don't know from which company he go and take the soup or something, that he pour it back in the, oh gosh, that's a wrong thing to do. So basically, whatever it is, if there is a spillage, just inform the customer, even though it's a minimal. If it's a minimal, like, kind of like just at the sides of the bag kind of thing, it is not substantial. So you don't have to actually like, hey, madam, I spilled your drinks a bit, bit. You don't have to. But if it's substantial, like you can really see from far, half of the plastic is full of the liquid. Even though if you open the plastic, the liquid is not going to be that much, but if from far it is pretty obvious that there is a spillage inside the plastic, then you tell the customer, say as a service to them actually, ma'am, I think you need to call the customer hotline and request for a refund because part of your drinks has been spilled. Right? If it's okay with you, then maybe you can drink it. If it's not okay with you, please throw it away. Call the customer hotline and request for a refund. That's it. Right? You don't have to just kind of just leave the order downstairs and then click or swipe deliver, then after that walk off kind of thing. Or alternatively, did what our friend did, go and take everything, pour inside again, and somebody caught him red-handed, and that's it for him. So don't do the unnecessary, or don't do what is not required. Right? There is always a way out. Customers are fine. Right? They are okay with spillage, but the thing is, you need to just inform them. Right? There are certain times where, customers ask to leave it at doorstep, that kind of thing. So in that kind of situation, you might want to just text the customer, say, madam, I spilled your drinks, you might want to call the customer hotline, that kind of thing. The key thing here is to inform the customer. You never inform, customer get pissed, that's it. You either get a lower rating or you get some other stuff. But if you inform, worst comes to worst, the customer, yes, he or she will get pissed, but the thing is, at least you have already informed. Previously, what I did was, because I had access to the customer hotline as well, so what I did was I asked the customer to call in. At the same time, I myself will call into the hotline to inform, to prepare the customer hotline to provide him or her with the refund. Don't be afraid to just inform the customer. Right? It is nothing wrong. You just did your part. Sometimes shit happens. Right, so right now it's pretty quiet. Surprisingly, because today is Eve or Diwali. For our Indian friends, Happy Diwali. I am going over to my Indian neighbor later on in the day to help her fix Diwali lighting, because she's a solo lady. So she's not kind of like, you know, used to climbing here, climbing there to actually fix the lights, but she wants to celebrate. So I'll be going over to her place actually to you know, help her fix up her lightings and stuff. Right. Now you can, I'm not sure if I'm going to record it or do a time lapse of it, and then post it on our Project Heart page. But I will see how it goes. Then if I could, I will. If I could, I will. So right now, let's all wait for the order and see if there is any orders coming in. Right. Otherwise, yeah, maybe I'll call it a day for now. Because anyway, it's a Saturday, so I can do it later onwards. Like maybe after lunch or so, it will still be active. Like during dinner time, it will still be active. So there will be no difference. Right. So let's see how it goes. Okay guys, so just now while waiting for orders and chit-chatting with you guys, a trio came in. So collecting from 2 KFCs and 1 Yakun Kaya Toast. So yeah, once collected, I straight away send the orders to the customers. So right now I am at the third customer's location, which is at block 542 Bukit Batok. Yeah, this is to send the 5 porridges that she ordered, and yeah, so that's about it. So yeah, it was pretty fast. The orders were really pretty fast, and it is still hot. So considering that the people or the crew that prepared the orders are actually pretty fast in preparing all the food. And also it is pretty well packed actually. So anyway, touching on packaging, yeah, so far to date, I think there's only like quite a handful that is actually taking extra precautions to prevent spillage. One of them is actually CBTL, or coffee bean and tea leaf. Sorry, coffee bean and tea leaf. The precautions, or they are taking precautionary measures such as, like, you know, using sling wrap to actually cover first before they put on the lid. Pasta Mania is also one of them. That one is also having the same practice. They cover with a sling wrap, then after that they cover with the lid. That is for their pastas and their soups and so on. Coffee bean CBTL is more to their drinks. Their food, of course, they don't sling wrap because they already have a very secure container. So other than that, I think so far these are the two that I've always come across taking the extra precaution. Anyway, of course, the other precautionary measures is that if, like, for example, you are serving mee rebus, mee siam, or any soupy noodles, you might want to, like, you know, put the noodles separately in one container, and the other one is into a plastic bag tied up together. That means the soup base is put into the plastic bag, then the noodles and the chicken or whatever not is into the container. That is the usual practice by the old timers. Yeah, so that's the best actually. But for drinks, in fact, is you know, if you are not thinking of, like, you know, covering it with sling wrap as what CBTL or Pasta Mania is doing, then I would suggest is that you get a proper covering lid. That means the lid that is supposed to be for that particular cup or particular size cup. Right. On top of that, when you are packing, you get a smaller plastic bag, right, that is just nice to fit that particular cup of drink. and you tie around on top of it so that to prevent the so-called the lid from popping off. Now that I usually, or McDonald's usually will do, right? Some of them, in fact, it's a handful of the crew members that does that. I seldom see some of them doing it because I doubt they see the so-called rationale behind it. But most of the senior crews, what they will do is that they will actually secure or tie the plastic bag really tightly, so much so that it's just on top of the lid, so that it holds the lid down instead of allowing the lid to actually pop around, kind of thing. Right, so as a rider as well, you can do that if in case the McDonald team or the MDS crew does not do that. For yourself, you need to do that just to actually secure the drinks, because you don't want your customers to actually be receiving spilled drinks, spilled soup, spilled noodles, spilled beans. Okay. Whatever it is, you yourself also, if you are ordering online as a customer, you also don't want to receive any spilled things or drinks being spilled on the floor, like previously in certain occasions that came out on the news. So obviously it's either the merchant or the rider that needs to do something. So far on Bukit Batok side, all the merchants are taking extra precautions on the food. That's why the riders are as well taking certain precautions on the food before they put the food into their bags. Yeah, so far so good. Especially even the China or the Chinese stalls are also doing the same thing. Even though they are serving the pao kute or whatsoever, they actually double tie. They tie the container. I mean, they fill up the container or whatsoever. Especially when it comes to soup, they fill up the container first, put inside the plastic bag, they tie it up first before they put into another plastic bag for carrying. But for noodles, I mean, some of them actually separate the noodles from the soup, or separate the soup from the noodles. Same thing. Anyway, that is one or a few of the precautionary measures that you can take. But most importantly, in order for you to save costs, please make sure, vendors, please make sure that the containers that come with you that the lids actually is the correct lids for the containers that you have ordered. Right? If it does not come with the correct lid, tell the vendor, take it back. Right? Take it back and replace with a new one by the end of the day, because you have a business to run, you are a customer to them, you need the correct tools in order for you to operate. Alright. Yeah, I think that shouldn't be a problem for that. I mean, any supplier wouldn't want to disappoint their customers, right? So you have to stand firm. Alright. Otherwise, there's always SKP to go by. Alright, you can always go to SKP, go and buy. I think right now the outlets are popping out everywhere, or every heartlands. So you can actually get the containers out there. Right? And yeah, I think that should be it. That is, if you're considering, especially those home business guys, you are considering to do home business, sending food from home, get the right containers. Alright, there's always SKP to be around backing you up. Alright, so yeah, go to SKP, get the correct containers, get the correct size, get the correct plastic bag, get the correct tie bags or whatsoever for your soups and stuff. Right? It just costs a few cents. Right? If you don't want to actually invest in a proper container, you can actually get the squarish container, or those cup paper bowl with the lid kind of thing. Yeah, so right now I'm actually waiting for my recycle client, waiting to collect her recycled wasted food, kitchen cuts, kitchen waste. So I guess she's out to the market right now. Just wait around this area for the next order. If there is, we'll proceed with the order. Otherwise, we just chill around. Okay guys, so after a few minutes of waiting, I finally got hold of my client. She finally also finished her marketing. So basically just now I went down to her place to actually collect the so-called recycled items. Not say much of a recycle, but actually more to food waste. So if you guys are wondering what does it look like or how it looks like, it is like over here. So you see there's, you know, this eggshells, this thing here, right? It's actually a bunch of skin or maybe things. Then after that, the egg carton is actually for, you know, the egg carton is more to prevent the smell so that it absorbs all the moisture and slowly breaks down for the worms to eat. Anyway, this topic is not about that. I'm just sharing with you guys whatever I'm doing for now. So basically, since I'm already carrying this thing in my bag, I guess I have to call it a day. Alright, today is a Saturday, so it shouldn't be of a problem later if I start to be online after I charge everything up, my handphone, my X3, my spare battery, my e-bike, everything is all charged up, and I'll start somewhere later in the afternoon. For now, maybe I might be going back early, right after I've gone buying some banana. Also, I'm having some cough. So yeah, I might be going home early because I was thinking of, like, you know, setting up my neighbors' lightings for the Deepavali celebration. So because today is the Eve, so yeah, I wouldn't want to wait until last minute, until maybe in the middle of the night, then I mean have the light fixed. So I'll go back and see whether she's at home. Then if she's at home, then if she's going out, then I'll get the keys from her. Then after that, I'll just fix up everything, and once she comes back home, the lights is all ready for her and for her celebration. So yeah, so I just want to get that done first, and then we'll see how it goes later in the afternoon. If I am going to go out for Grab, alright, we'll meet again. Oh yeah, one more thing. Bye bye.